Okay, so it's time to go over the sub 125 solo wizard build and strategies. So we'll start out with the build with the gear, what you're going to be going for. I wanted to try to keep this as realistic as possible, so we're not going for the super duper min-max manosphere cloak of darkness, because if you guys are playing normals, you're not going to be spending thousands upon thousands of gold on your kit. It just wouldn't make sense, and the whole point of this video is to try to help you out. If you just put on a manosphere and a cloak of darkness and all attribute jewelry and everything, that's just me Timmy stomping and flexing. So what I did was I kept it all uncommon green gear. I got decent rolls on it, but I wanted to try to make it replicatable. Is that a word? Replicatable? Repeatable. So starting out, we have a green spellbook with some magic power.
Coiffe. Coiffe is how you say it. From French, it is coiffe.
Green coiffe with true magic. We have a green phoenix choker with max health. Default sword. Green vestments with 2 magic power. Cloak of invisibility. Ring of wisdom green with true magic. Its identical twin. Default leather shoes, default rawhide gloves, and some green lightfoots with move speed. I went for 4 instead of 5 because the 5 move speed ones, at least when I bought these, were more than twice the price. And again, this is supposed to be realistic. Other than that, I just have like default heals, default potion, nothing too fancy. That's the whole point of this, is we're trying to make it not too fancy. Before I go over perks, because perks is going to depend on the spells you choose, I want to look at the spells. You'll notice I'm running 5 spell. After the last video, I had several questions about my 10 spell choice, and if they wanted to go 5 spell, what spells should they choose? And you're not going to like the answer, but it depends. Different spells have different strengths and weaknesses depending on what matchups you come across. So it's important to know which spells are the best to use in which situations, what spells are most effective or least effective against certain classes. So I'll go over some of my more popular choices, and then you can a la carte these into whatever spell wheel you want. You'll see me run a couple of different variations of 5 spell throughout this video, and they're all meditate, but I have different spells put in at different times, and you'll see how well they work against different classes. So this is a really well balanced spell wheel. It covers most of your bases. So you have Fireball. It's obviously a really good pick. It has really high damage, 100% scaling. I would say that its strongest usage is against other ranged classes, because they're going to be moving quickly and somewhat far away from you, so it could be hard to hit them directly with a projectile or with a hit scan. So this AoE splash helps guarantee you damage on them, and since they're usually squishy, it's just a really good spell to use against other wizards, against rangers. It's really good against rogues. Overall, a really solid pick. Most spell wheels have Fireball in them. Invis is one spell that I think I always take. It's pretty non-negotiable. It is your absolute best survivability spell. It helps get you out of bad situations. It helps you close the gaps on other ranged classes and get yourself into better situations. So it's a good escape mechanic. It's a good entry mechanic. Mob aggro can be dropped with it. It's just so good. It's such a good spell, and you have it pretty much instantly as long as you bring Arcane Mastery, which I also always recommend taking. It's so paramount to success. So next I'll go over Ice Bolt against barbarians, against fighters, against rogues, any class that really wants to be up in your business and get into that, spanking range. Ice Bolt can help keep them just outside of that. You don't want to shoot your Ice Bolts when they're too far away, because they're unlikely to land. It's a projectile. It doesn't move incredibly fast. So you want to be using it in a 3 to 6 meter range most of the time, which can be scary to let a W keyer get that close to you, but it's an acquired skill, and it's definitely where it's most useful. You got to let them get close, but then keep them just out of reach with it. You just have to be careful. If you go against a really good player, they're going to know that if they jump before they get hit with the Ice Bolt, Ice Mastery won't do anything. It doesn't root them in midair like Bind does. So if you come against a really good player, they might know that. That's why it's super valuable in Squire gear, in the Squire lobbies, because the players aren't as serious and sweaty. You can get away with it a bit more, but once you start going as really good players, they'll know to jump. You can't rely on it 100%, but it is a strong tool to have. Up next on this wheel, I have Magic Missiles. Obviously has really strong PvE value. Just the fastest clearing tool that Wizard has if you want to quickly clear an area so that mobs aren't cucking you mid-fight, or if a mob is aggroing you mid-fight, you can quickly put them down. It's not a bad PvP tool either. At long range, you can kind of fan them out and create this kind of bullet hell scenario. And you're likely to land 1 or 2 of them if you're in open space like that, which is good chip damage. And then also, if a W keyer is already really weak, you know that you've done a lot of chip damage to them, you can try to all-in them with magic missiles and finish them off. It's a really strong tool. You just have to be careful that you don't all-in too early, because in order to shoot magic missiles, you have to be standing still. So you have to be willing to put all of your eggs in the magic missile basket, and in order to do that, you need to be really sure. I can't tell you the amount of times that I was sure that someone was like less than 25% HP, and then I put an entire volley of missiles into their chest, and then they just walked up and 2-hit me, and it was too late. If you think someone's gonna hit you, you need to stop your missile cast, and then step back and resume kiting, get into another situation where you can use missiles again. Try not to all in too much, because then you're banking on whether or not their gear is good or whether or not they have a lot of magic resistance, and you just don't always know that. So it's a gamble, and gambling is not good for consistency. Zap is also a bread and butter spell. The reason we love it is it's super fast casting. It's a tier 1. And you also get it back really, really quickly, which is strong with Meditate, because you don't have to sit for the whole 10-second Meditate to get all your zaps back. You get all 5 back in less than 2 seconds if you have decent knowledge like I do, because knowledge affects how fast you get your spells back, if you didn't know. Zap's strongest value is in kiting and around cover because of how quickly it casts. Casting spells, charging up spells, has a minus 100 move speed penalty on casters. Just putting that out there. Minus 100. That's why bunny hopping is so important. And if they ever remove it, they need to do something with the casting move speed penalty, because that's insane. Since this charges up really quickly, you're at minus 100 move speed for a shorter amount of time, which means they're not closing the gap on you quite as much. That's why it's really valuable. So if you're getting chased, you can quickly 180, pepper them with a zap, and then keep going and not lose too much ground. And then if you're chasing someone, it's a very similar situation. You don't have to slow down to cast it, and then they might get out of range of you. For instance, if you have an explosion and you have to charge that up while you're chasing someone, they're likely to get outside of hit scan range, and then you go to cast it and it misses. Now you're out in an explosion and they're further away. So in that situation, zap is just better. So aside from these 5 spells, there's a couple other spells that sometimes I'll put into my 5-spell setups, and I think that you could too. You just have to know what situations they're going to be the best in, and then weigh that out with what kind of experience you're having in the dungeons. If you know that there's a ton of barbarians out on a specific night, Ice Bolt is like a must-take. However, if there's a ton of warlocks out, you might want to take Explosion. The reason Explosion is so good is because you can stack multiple of them on a target before they detonate. Or even if you just stack one, it has this 3-second delay, so then you can hit some other spell on them after you stick them with an explosion. So then the explosion will detonate around the same time that you hit them with that second spell, which creates this huge burst damage. The whole thing with Warlock or any magic healing class is that chip damage isn't really effective against them. You have to do just a giga nuke of damage all at once that they can't reasonably out-heal. That's the whole winning play style against Warlocks, against Healer Druids, against Clerics, is just stacking a ton of damage at once. An Explosion is easily the best tool you have to do this. So if you wanted to, you could swap in Explosion here. This is another really good build. But you have to know that you're going to be weaker against, let's say, Wizards or Rangers with this build, because both of those classes are going to be playing at a reasonable distance from you, and they're usually fast, and they're squishy. So Fireball is a really good option against those classes. You don't have any long range, like guaranteed damage with this spell wheel. So if you come up against a Ranger or a Wizard, you have to change your play style. It's going to be a hard matchup. When you swap out Fireball for Explosion, you're making it easier against Warlocks, but harder against Wizards and Rangers. So you just have to keep that in mind. Another spell that you might consider taking is Haste. I love Haste.
I love lamp.
Especially in low gear, Haste can make you feel like you're actually viable and that you actually have like significantly better gear than you have on. You get 15 move speed, 10% action speed, 10% cast speed. On this build, I have 1.5% action speed. That is terrible. But if I have an additional 10%, that puts me at 11.5%, which is actually really good, which can help you with landing your hit scan spells. So this is another build that's actually kind of decent because you have 2 hit scan damage spells here that are going to greatly benefit from the increased action speed of Haste. The move speed is just generally a really good stat to have, and then the spell casting speed is also really good. It helps with kiting, it helps with chasing. Just higher cast speed is just always better. It helps your explosions cast faster, more akin to like an ice bolt, and it helps your zaps come out really, really quick. So this build is also really good. Another thing you could consider is dropping missiles. If you're confident in your PvE clearing abilities, you could do something like this. You could do Haste, Fireball, Zap, Explosion, Invis. I always keep Invis. I'm super hesitant to drop it. I have tried it before, and it just does not work for me not having Invis. You might be able to make it work, but for me, I have to have it. But yeah, for this build, you have to know that you don't have the ability to clear PvE quickly. That's the big drawback of this. So if you enter a room that has a bunch of uncleared mobs. Let's say you're entering the graveyard on ruins. It has this Skelly Mage, which is going to shield all the skeletons as soon as you start hitting them. Well, with missiles, that's not a problem because you can kill the Skellies before the mage shields them. But if you don't have missiles, now you're going to start smacking them with your sword. They're going to get shielded. It's going to take significantly longer to kill them. So you have to play in a different way. Realistically, with this build, you might be skipping a lot of PvE. You might be doing a lot more wall jumping than you would if you had missiles. You just have to keep that in mind. You have to know that if you start getting cucked by mobs in the middle of a fight, instead of being able to kill the mobs, you might have to back off and reset, or draw the fight to an area where the mobs are not as damaging to your ability to fight. But otherwise, this is a really good spell wheel. This is really good in maps where the PvE isn't as bad. Goblin Caves comes to mind. Goblin Caves is probably the easiest PvE map of all of them. You can handle pretty much every mob with the Crystal Sword with relative ease. So if you're playing solo Wizard Goblin Caves, this is a build that I would highly recommend. It's kind of like a poor man's Intense Focus build when you have Haste like this, because these 3 spells, a really common Intense Focus build is this. But if the PvE is not that bad and you don't need missiles, then you can put on Haste and put on Meditate instead of Intense Focus. Now you have quick spell regen and you can get all of your spells out really quickly. Obviously, it's not instant like Intense Focus, but you can consistently make every spell cast significantly faster with Haste. It's a really, really good build, and I run this a lot in the fights that you'll see later in this video. So this is a highly recommended build if you're confident in your PvE clearing abilities. You could even throw Lightning Strike in the mix. Along with any of these, Lightning Strike is really, really strong against other ranged enemies, as long as you're good at predicting their movement. If you feel like you're good at predicting enemy movement, Lightning Strike is one of the best spells that you can take. It's not nearly as telegraphed as your other spells, and it's also really good at fighting enemies around cover, since it has an AoE that you can put at like the edge of cover, and then half of the circle will be behind the cover. So if you're predicting when an enemy is going to peek, Lightning Strike can be a super good source of damage. Does 30 base damage with 100% scaling. So many people sleep on Lightning Strike, and it is such a good spell. It's my favorite spell. It's just the coolest one. Slow can also be good, but if you're going to run slow, I would pair it with missiles. This is a really deadly combination. If you can hit a barbarian or any melee class that doesn't have a shield, rogue, I mean, I know barbs can have a shield, they usually don't. If you can hit them in a slow in an area where they're not able to easily take cover, then you can hit them with most of a volley of missiles before they can continually close the gap on you. And that's a ton of damage against a tanky enemy like that. You have to be careful though. Same as before, you don't want to just hold the whole volley of missiles and bank on it killing them before they reach you. Hit them with a slow, and then do like half, maybe 2/3 of a volley of missiles, stop the cast, and then take some more steps back and repeat. Maybe slip in a different spell, hit a zap, hit an invis juke, then hit another slow into some missiles. It's a really powerful combination. So it's whatever you feel like is going to be strong. In a 5-spell setup, there are some spells that I would not recommend taking. Light Orb is great. It's super valuable against rogues, but in 5-spell, you just don't have the space for it. Chain Lightning, you only get 2 charges of it, and it doesn't do that much damage. It does 30 with 75% scaling, but that's only on the first target it hits. Chain Lightning's main value in solos is being able to chain off of a mob and then hit a target, and every time it ricochets off of a target, it loses 5 damage, I believe. So at least, I know it loses 5 damage initially. So the second target it hits, which is presumably another mob or the player, is only going to be doing 25 damage with 75% scaling, which just isn't that strong. That makes it the same as Explosion, but you only get 2 charges of it. So it's a super duper niche spell that doesn't do crazy damage, and you only get 2 charges. So that's why I wouldn't take that. Magic Lock is a meme because 99% of doors are wooden and can be broken by the vast majority of classes, regardless of if they're magic locked or not. Ignite can be good if you're running a melee hybrid setup. I don't particularly run that on 5-spell usually, but if you want to, you can swap that in. This is a very popular build. Since you have Ignite for helping to clear mobs, you could instead put maybe Ice Bolt or Explosion in this slot, and it could be really good. So yeah, I recommend you try a variety of different 5-spell spell wheels until you find one that works for you. For instance, this is a spell wheel that, this is a spell wheel that I really like to run, and I run it quite often, but I have to know that if I come up against a ranger or another wizard, I'm going to have a really hard time. So I have to play around those specific matchups really carefully. Once you've selected what spells you want, then you select your perks. Because if you're not running Ice Bolt, Ice Mastery makes no sense at all. Let's say I am running Ice Bolt, I will run Ice Mastery. These 3 other perks, for the most part, remain unchanged for me, just because they're all cast speed buffs. The real value of high cast speed in solos is it allows you to react to the unexpected that much quicker. And the unexpected happens every single fight. Because Landmine is meta. Landmine anything. Landmine Rogue, Landmine Barb, Landmine Fighter, Landmine Wizard is meta. So the ability to deploy your survivability spells, like Haste, like Slow, like Ice Bolt with Ice Mastery, all of those can come out that much quicker if you have high cast speed. That's why Intense Focus is really strong in solos as well, because you can have the fastest cast speed when you need to react to the unexpected. That's why a lot of Intense Focus players like to have it procced at all times. I usually try to make up for that with having high cast speed in general, so that way I can not only react to Landmine, but then I can also react to unexpected things in the middle of a fight where your Intense Focus might still be on cooldown. Let's say you're running this spell wheel, so you wouldn't need Ice Mastery. So you can take off Ice Mastery, then what do you put in its place? There's a couple of different solid options. A lot of people are going to put Fire Mastery there just to extend that burn duration. It might be a little more effective against warlocks or against healer druids. It can also help keep rogues out of that second invis charge in the middle of a fight, so it has some good value. I will say it's not nearly as strong against solo warlocks as people say that it is, just because they have a ton of debuff duration, which means the duration of the burn is going to get cut significantly. So the anti-heal is only going to take effect for a short period of time. So instead of Fire Mastery, if you really want to help with your Warlock matchup, there are 2 other reasonable options you can take. A super brain dead one is Mana Surge, just doing more damage. The whole strategy to kill a Warlock is just to burst damage them and just nuke them all at once, right? So if you can make your nuke 10% more powerful, it puts you in pretty good position against Warlocks, right? Another really strong anti-Warlock option is Reactive Shield, because Reactive Shield will eat the initial damage of a curse and then negate a significant portion of it after that. So Warlocks don't become nearly the problem that they once were. Fire Mastery is not your only option. It's a good perk, but it's not as strong as people will have you believe. Ice Shield can also be generally just a decent perk. That being said, in low gear when we don't have really good move speed and we don't have high health, the value of Ice Shield kind of is up in the air. Sometimes helps, sometimes it doesn't really make any difference at all. So you'll see me swap out a couple of these spells and swap out this perk for, I don't know, a couple different options throughout the video, and you'll see how it affects how I fight against different enemies and the relative strengths and weaknesses that it causes. Alright, and then before we get into the gameplay, I'll just show you the stats that I have with this gear. Wait a minute, let me put on... We'll just put on reactive shield since it doesn't affect any of my stats here. Alright, so 306 move speed, so that's pretty good. 99 health, leaves a lot to be desired for sure. 1.5% action speed, that is real bad, but on low gear you can only build so many stats. 76% cast speed, that's pretty good, especially if you have haste, you get that up to 86. You're in a good spot. Let's see, what are some other important stats? Your magic power bonus, 23% here. And then with the book, that'll be another 6%, so close to 30%. It's pretty strong. You have pretty minimal PDR and MDR, but that's kind of to be expected in low gear. The armor ratings on things are just low, and magic resistance is also low because you don't have a ton of will. So, without further ado, let's get into some spanking. Oscar was trying to say, if you're not the best player. Yeah. Okay, fuck. Hold up. He did. It's fights like that make me very confident that Ice Bolt, Ice Mastery is like just so crucial. He's not like min-maxing. We'll leave. I mean, it's an owl pendant, right? I'm not gonna take that from him. I'll yoink his surge kit. Sebastian, I hope that... Oh no, another wizard. Do you think it's the same confident one? Dude, this thing takes so long to kill. It's so hard to hit headshots on it. Uh-oh, I'm in danger. I heard some tomfoolery. Oh no. I'm gone. Gone. Please don't have Achilles strike and a throwing axe. We're gonna call that my kill. You want to know the reason that I chose to go up the other stairs instead of the ones I was originally on? Was because I didn't want to lead him to the other wizard that was campfiring. So I opted to go the longer route. I shouldn't have stuck that last bandage. It was a bad idea. Oh, it's the red barb. Oh. He was just chasing me for fun? I hear a arcane shield wizard. Don't do it, bro. Don't do it. Okay, he fucked off. Oh, there's the whiz. No thanks. There we go. Oh, emoting takes me out of invis? That's kind of whack. Secret Wizard tip 367. Always break that box. And unless you plan on using it again. I hear Arcane Shield still. Oh, never mind. That's not Arcane Shield. Okay. A little bit of wizard tag teamage. Oh yeah. See, now the problem is I don't have that box anymore. Maybe I can get up here. Come on. Come on. Biss. Secret Wizard tip 367. Always break that box. He's probably still like right in this area in Invis. Oh, there's the... Is that the ranger? I think it is. Barb brain is a serious condition. In some dire cases, it's inoperable. Are you serious? Bro had to go pull every mob in the game, and now this is going to be my problem. Uh-oh. Okay. Dude, both of us were missing. At least I had an excuse for missing, because he's using this torch. And my projectile spells have like a big hitbox. Oh, he didn't have anything. He just has this epic ranger hood. Chad behavior. Not min-maxing. Take his shit for disrespecting you? He gave me a good fight, and all he had was an epic ranger hood that I would vendor. Landmine rat. Name checks out. Dude, imagine putting this gear on to landmine. We love dark humor. It's the best cope, Sebastian. You've never been more at home than here. I'm a dark humor enjoyer myself. Oh, he's bunny hopping. He knows what he's doing. Ow. Come on, bro. There's just no chance you're serious. Dude, I just headshot him. Let's go! Dude, he's so tanky. Uh-oh. We have no spells. I have legit 2 explosions and a invis. I can't believe that sorcerer didn't keep pushing. No landmine for you. You should be ashamed trying to landmine on a caster class. Oh, he's going down the well? No chance you're serious. What? Where did... That other guy took everything. That pisses me off, bro. Oh, no. It's gonna be that same guy. Oh, well, there goes half my health. What was this guy wearing that put him in this bracket? Just the fox pendant? Shit, he's in here. Oh! I'm dead. No, he's dead. Unlucky for the fighter. I was pretty confident there that, I mean, I had him on the ropes. How min-maxed is it? It's not incredibly min-maxed. It's still strong, for sure. Oh, I don't need that. Some of this shit is crazy. Incredibly well-spoken and calm. Well, the calmness comes from patience that I learned from playing Wizard. Ooh, someone's trolling it up. Ooh, it's a warlock. He knows I'm here.
Hello? Do you want to loot the pile with me? There's no pelt.
Hello there.
Hello. I already killed the troll. You can
You
come
killed
in.
the troll. I'm looking for a fight. Would you like to beef?
Huh?
Would you like to beef?
I mean, what if I just run away?
What?
Gonna shake
That
me?
wouldn't be very noble of you.
Well, I'm just trying to get money. I'm not trying to fight.
Okay.
them.
Well, I
I'm
won't.
trying to get my bag up.
I won't make you then. Good luck on your pile run.
Okay. Enjoy.
That was wholesome. The rare wholesome interaction with a warlock.
Hello? Hello, wizard? Wizard?
Hi.
I was thinking about it and I was like, since this is not Hyrule, I might not get anything good from the pile. Do you want to tussle?
So, how about we tussle in the cave troll room? How about that?
Okay. Alright, I'll go in from the other side and we both close the door at the same time. How about that?
Oh, that's exciting. Speaking of moose manipulation, what are your thoughts on slow? You struggle to capitalize once you do get the spell off. Okay, hold up. We got... Got his ass. Yeah, this is the arena we wanted. Dude, if we just had this... Well fought, brother. 44 sacks. Let me give you one more. Let me make it 45. Ooh! That was a good fight. Death Beetle. Smoked someone. Oh, it's a fighter. And there's someone below, too. Ow. What did I just get hit by? It's just a rogue. Okay, now I have to reset. This is a dangerous push. He's off to my left. Oh, he's still getting chased by somebody. Predictable shot. Oh no. Dude, how many of these do you have? You gotta follow through with the spell. You don't stop aiming when you release your mouse button. You gotta guide it the whole way through. You saw the flick at the end there? It's an acquired skill. Lane, welcome to the stream. It was a bold meditate. I don't think so. I had a read of the room. I knew that the rogue was over there and the fighter was over there. The rogue gat. Any min-maxers? Reasonable min-maxage? Oh yeah, there's some good stuff in here. He had throwing knives for days. Alright, let's see if we can cook this guy now. I need to take out this door, or else it's gonna be a problem. Decent. No, there's no chance. The bold meditate. Oh, we got him. How bad is it? Oh, he had the epic choker. No mercy for him. Actually, those aren't very good. Okay, I hear a rogue. I don't love it. Oh, the clerics are fighting. Dude, I just want to fight someone. But I can't. Oh, there's the rogue. Purple hand alert. He's gonna do the pillar dance, man. I hate the pillar dance. He did. That rogue's gonna be up my butt here soon, though. Nope, there he is. I'm just dead. This is where meditate comes in clutch. Okay. I'm gonna wait out my meditate here, and then fireball the door and quickly get my 2 fireballs back. Dude, I'm so sussed out, because that's a fighter. Where's the rogue? He's got to be like right here. Dude, why am I getting teamed up on? That guy's dead. That's a cleric, so the rogue has to be close. Okay, he's right there. What do we have? 4 fireballs. That's good. Dude, there's just no chance bro lives. Okay, we got him. Oh yeah. This is what we call the min-max. Pavis. That's no good for me. Oh, he just set it up on the ground. He's got multiple of them. This guy's a Chad. Dude, what was that duck? That was like accidental. Yeah, he's making, bro's making a pillow for it. That's a longbow, if I'm not mistaken. The thing is, he's just gonna he's just gonna go close the door. Yeah, dude. If you do that shit, you are such a pussy. If you start a fight next to an open door with the intent of taking shots until you're in any danger and then closing that door, you are a big part of the problem with the game. Oh my god, he's a shotgun longbow ranger. The worst type of player. No wonder he's playing door and door. Dude, there's no chance. He also has traps in the goblin body. Who is the one that won the fight? Oh, it's the toxic one. He's just gonna do the same thing. Or he's just gonna back up to the door. He probably has another trap. What a loser. I can't barrel stuff him because he has shotgun. He's already shown his hand. How do people find this fun? I have to assume a lack of attention at home. But he's setting more traps. Dude, this guy just like tripled down on the most toxic way to play the game. Longbow ranger, spear, traps, shotgun, door and door. Like what? Oh, we'll wait. Now the goblins are on me. I can't push him though, because he'll just shotgun me. Dude. Oh yeah. Come on, give me it. Give me the slur. Give me the gamer lingo. Wait, there's one last chance. There's one last chance for him to be the worst. What's he wearing? Okay, it's not. It could be. Oh, okay.